The village of Umudim in southeastern Nigeria had been plagued by powerful witches for centuries. The villagers lived in fear of their dark magic and evil intentions. Every night, children were being taken by these dark forces, pregnant women suffered miscarriages, farmland were being burnt to ashes and livestock and crops were eaten by strange insects. The villagers cried for a messiah every day to save them from the hands of the evil witches. For centuries and generations, the witches continued to bring calamity, destruction and chaos upon Umudim village, but everything changed when a powerful warrior named Odogwu arrived. Odogwu was a warrior from the neighboring village and was popularly known for his knowledge of JuJu magic. His father was a diabolic witch doctor notoriously popular for creating powerful dark magic charms so dangerous that if possessed by the wrong hands would cause severe calamities that can't be undone by not even him. Odogwu learned JuJu magic from his father and other diabolics, and with the knowledge he gained from his mentors, he was able to create powerful JuJu and terminate several dark spells from powerful priests, diabolics, witches and celestial beings that even the gods feared him. Upon arriving in the village of Umudim, he was told about the witches and how they have been terrorizing the people of Umudim over the centuries. Odogwu listened to the ancient stories about the witches and the people of Umudim village and was ecstatic about his because he is attracted to the princess of Umudim village, so he thought that if he helped defeat the witches, he can easily ask for the princess' hand in marriage. He visited the palace where he requested to meet the king. When the king heard of his visit, he summoned Odogwu to the royal court. There was total silence in the court after Odogwu walked in, as the people in the court stopped what they were saying just to look at Odogwu with a sense of administration. The king then broke the silence, saying,
"People of Umudim village, there stands before you the great Odogwu of Awkapara kingdom. You must have heard a lot of amazing stories about him. Odogwu, welcome to our village. Look like the gods finally heard our prayers and sent you to help us. You must have heard about the witches that have been terrorizing our village for over 9 centuries. We have tried several great warriors and witch doctors, but all of them ended up at the mercy of those terrible witches. We hope that since you possess the power that can defeat even gods, you can easily defeat those witches."
Odogwu, after hearing all of what the king had said, he replied,
"Dear King of Umudim village, it is my honor to help you and the fellow people of Umudim to defeat those witches, but if I am successful, I shall ask for something you must not refuse."
The king agreed and ordered his guards to take him to the forest where the witches reside. Odogwu, with a JuJu that tracks down the location of the witches, walked through the length and breadth of the forest for the whereabouts of the witches until he found a huge cave at the middle of the forest. When he entered into the cave, he found the witches who were originally walking but later got interrupted by his presence. The witches was surprised because nobody knew the location of their secret hideout, as they used a powerful spell to keep their place invisible even to the spirits, and since Odogwu had done what no spirit had done, the witches saw him as a threat, so started attacking him. That begins the massive clash between witches and man. Odogwu, with his advantage of using his JuJu magic to defeat superior beings, he was able to destroy most of the witches and send few of them running with fear. Happy with his victory, he returned to the village of Umudim to tell them the good news. There were jubilations everywhere among the people, but these jubilations were cut short when Odogwu warned the villagers about some witches that escaped. In order to ensure the safety of the village from the escaped witches, Odogwu created a magical field around it, with a gemstone as the key. He became known as the gatekeeper of the village, protecting the gemstone at all costs. The king was the happiest and asked Odogwu what would he like to offer him, and Odogwu requested for his daughter's hand in marriage, which the king agreed without hesitation. A marriage ceremony was commenced where Odogwu and his bride tied the knot. That day was the most joyful day in the village. As the years passed, Odogwu's legacy lived on through his lineage, ensuring that Umudim remained safe from the threat of the powerful witches who had once haunted the village. And the gemstone continued to shine bright, a symbol of hope and protection for the people of Umudim. One night, as the villagers gathered around a crackling fire, Odogwu shared the tale of the witches and his battle against them.
"They were formidable foes,"
he began, his deep voice carrying across the night air.
"But with the power of JuJu magic, I was able to defeat them."
A murmur went through the crowd, awestruck by Odogwu's bravery.
"What will happen if the escaped witches return, Odogwu?"
A young man asked, concern etched on his face. Odogwu's gaze turned solemn.
Fear not, my people. I have placed a protective shield around our village, with the gemstone as its key. As long as we remain united and vigilant, the witches will never harm us again.
The villagers nodded in agreement, grateful for their protector. But Odogwu's wife sat quietly, her eyes glistening with unshed tears.
Are you all right, my dear?
Odogwu asked, noticing her sadness.
I have always felt useless to you, Odogwu. After 6 years of marriage, I still hadn't conceived a child for you. But I have a feeling that my time will come soon.
Little did she know that her words would ring true, as fate had a grand plan for her yet unborn child, a child who would become the new gatekeeper of the village, ensuring that Odogwu's legacy of protection would endure for generations to come. As time passed, Odogwu's barren wife, named Adis, found out she was expecting a child. The news spread through the village like wildfire, bringing hope and excitement to everyone, especially Adis herself. She felt a new sense of purpose and belonging as the child within her grew. When the time came for Adis to give birth, the village was filled with anticipation and joy. As the newborn baby girl entered the world, a radiant light shone from the gemstone, illuminating the entire village. The villagers believed it was a sign of a powerful force being born among them. Odogwu held his daughter in his arms, feeling a surge of pride and love. He named her Ngozi, meaning blessing, for she was seen as a gift from the gods. Little did they know that Ngozi carried within her the same JuJu magic that Odogwu possessed, making her the chosen one to succeed her father as the guardian of the gemstone. Ngozi grew up surrounded by stories of her father's bravery and the village's history, instilling in her a deep sense of duty and loyalty to protect Umudim. She trained tirelessly under Odogwu's guidance, honing her skills and learning the secrets of JuJu magic. Years later, when Odogwu's time came to pass, Ngozi took on the mantle of gatekeeper with grace and strength. She stood before the villagers, her eyes reflecting the wisdom and power of her lineage. With the gemstone in her possession, Ngozi vowed to uphold her father's legacy and protect Umudim from any threat that may come their way. And so, the village of Umudim continued to flourish under the watchful eye of Ngozi, the new gatekeeper, who carried on the tradition of courage, strength, and JuJu magic that had been passed down through generations. And the villagers knew that as long as Ngozi was there, their village would always be safe from the darkness that once haunted their land.